In the fall of 2023, October 5th, Toyota inked a deal with LG to supply batteries for their battery electric vehicles. And make sure to stay to the end because we're going to talk about which vehicles could use these batteries. And the latest battery deal with Toyota could not have taken place without General Motors. General Motors helped fund this sort of, I guess, what is General Motors' trash is now Toyota's treasure in some regard. General Motors has multiple plants with LG Chem for batteries. I believe this is the third one. And in fact, General Motors wanted to buy a fourth, but they may have inked a deal with someone else for that fourth battery plant. But the irony is that General Motors is like, we're not making as much money as we thought on these EVs, and the consumer demand for these EVs is nowhere close to where we expected. In fact, didn't General Motors say in 2025 they would have something like 30 battery electric vehicles across all their brands? That's not going to happen. Anyways, General Motors is selling the stake that they had in the battery plant in Lansing, Michigan with LG Energy Solution. GM will continue to leverage the Ultium cells in the Warren, Ohio plant, Spring Hill, Tennessee as well. There's about 100 employees at this Ultium Lansing place. Well, it's no longer going to be called Ultium. And so remember the battery deal Toyota had with LG back in October, that they would be producing battery cells in Michigan for Toyota vehicles. Well, now what's happened is that Toyota is essentially buying what General Motors left behind, all right, at the new Lansing, Michigan plant. So these should be, I don't know, the cutting edge in terms of battery manufacturing, cutting edge in terms of hopefully battery efficiency, energy efficiency, etc. But Toyota is supporting this new LG plant that General Motors once helped build with a $1.5 billion worth of batteries. Now, it's not like Toyota is doing what General Motors is doing in this situation. General Motors joint ventured with LG. Honda joint ventured with LG in Ohio. Okay, LG here is just taking an order from Toyota. Toyota's placed their number 5 for double cheeseburger and fries or whatever, and LG is going to be giving those goods to Toyota. Now, remember, the Toyota battery manufacturing plant is going online in North Carolina very, very soon. 4 of those lines will be for hybrids. The other 10 will be for battery electrics and plug-in hybrids. So this will be going online, I believe, this spring, providing hybrid battery packs for lots of upcoming vehicles, as well as battery electric vehicles. But back in December, General Motors sold its $1 billion stake in this joint venture plant. And LG was like, well, what the heck are we going to do? We no longer have a buyer of these batteries. So Toyota has agreed to transfer. It's a pre-existing order from another LG plant in Michigan when LG fully acquires the Lansing facility. Remember, as we started this, Toyota was buying batteries from LG in an already existing battery plant in Michigan. This new battery plant where General Motors has left a vacancy is now being bought up. At least the battery orders are being bought up by Toyota. Toyota will not have a stake in this facility. And the purchase order totals $1.5 billion, according to people familiar with the deal. Now, it's not a public Toyota. If you go to Toyota's press room, it is not official, but it will be soon. Okay. South Korean companies, SK Innovation, LG Chem, Samsung, sunk $54 billion into building EV battery plants in the United States in anticipation of an EV boom subsidized by the Inflation Reduction Act. Well, that's all being scrapped with the current administration. And the batteries Toyota is buying from LG can be used. Here's the important thing here, guys. They can be used for either EVs or hybrids. Hybrids are typically less profitable for battery manufacturers because they require fewer cells. You don't need nearly as many battery packs for a hybrid. In fact, it's about 1/90th of the battery pack weight for a hybrid compared to a BEV. LG is also aiming to sell some production at the plant to stationary storage customers, right? Due to the growth in artificial intelligence. This plant in Lansing was announced in January 2022, was meant to support General Motors' $35 billion push to produce 30 EV models by 2025 and create 4,000 new jobs. GM has since moved to reduce its exposure to the risk of uncertain sales. The automaker delayed one pickup truck plant in Michigan and then agreed to sell its stake in this Lansing battery plant back to LG. So Toyota now has two enormous suppliers of batteries, $1.5 billion coming from LG Chem for hybrids, probably plug-in hybrids, and battery electrics. And then you have their own, Toyota's own in-house battery manufacturing facility in North Carolina doing the same thing. If we go to Toyota's lineup, which models are likely to see these battery packs from LG, from North Carolina? I don't know. I think there's a possibility there could be models that supply batteries from both facilities due to demand. All right. As long as they have the same voltage, as long as they have the same amps, the same parameters, I don't see why you couldn't have LG battery packs being put in a RAV4 hybrid as well as battery packs from North Carolina. And keep in mind what Toyota is doing here. All right, and I believe this includes these batteries from LG. Toyota is assembling these battery packs at the manufacturing facilities. Okay, all the cells, to my knowledge, are being produced in Lansing, Michigan with LG and in North Carolina. And then the cells are being exported to the plants where they can arrange the battery packs and assemble the battery packs as they see fit. All right, which is pretty cool, pretty exciting, and allows a lot more flexibility and reduction in shipping costs in theory, you would think. But let's get into which models we could see these batteries going into in the near term, very near. Okay, it could be, I don't know when these battery packs from LG will be coming to Toyota. Maybe we should look at the original agreement. So just like North Carolina, it looks like we'll see 20 gigawatt hours starting in 2025. We don't know if that order has been increased with this big investment. Now, back then, keep this in mind, back in 2023, when this agreement with LG first came online, LG was investing $3 billion in its Michigan facility to create new battery cell and module production lines exclusively for Toyota. Completion is scheduled for 2025. Now, all this boutique battery cell production lines for Toyota is going to be switched to this new plant that General Motors is no longer employing. Initially, the battery modules will go into Toyota's engine factory in Kentucky and be assembled into battery packs and fitted into BEVs. The new information, guys, coming out today is that these battery packs will also be made for hybrid vehicles. That's a big change. So getting into which models we can expect these battery packs from LG and the North Carolina battery packs to come into. All right. Well, the Prius is made in Japan, so that's not going to happen. The Corolla Hybrid is made in Japan for now. All right. Remember, cells are coming online for both of these Toyota battery orders from North Carolina and Michigan in 2025. Okay. So we'll come back to the Corolla here in a little bit. But what's coming here in 2025? Well, guys, this is the game changer. Well, I mean, the RAV4 doesn't even it doesn't need any more introduction. It doesn't need any more hype. But the RAV4 getting the redesign, check out my recent videos on it. We pretty much know what it's going to look like. But the RAV4 redesign, we're 6 generations now, is going to be fully hybrid. It's going to be, I shouldn't say fully hybrid. It is going to be fully electrified because the hybrid is going to be the base model, the 5th gen hybrid system that we see in the Camry. The Camry has 225 horsepower and 232 horsepower in the all-wheel drive, something like that. This will be getting the same sort of powertrain. Now, the RAV4, maybe we could see bigger battery pack in here slightly so we get a little bit more power. It's possible because previously the Camry Hybrid had something like 208 horsepower, and then the RAV4 had 219. All right. We're going to be way past those numbers. At minimum 225, but it could be 240 horsepower. That's just for the hybrid. Then we're going to have plug-in hybrids on a scale we've never seen before due to all these batteries coming online for Toyota in 2025. It's going to be quite fascinating. And then you're going to have a fully battery electric variant, in theory, of this RAV4. Now, what's interesting is I'm hearing that there's going to be a big refresh on the BZ4X. What would be the point of a fully RAV4 electric and a BZ4X coexisting? It doesn't make any sense for me. It's not like EVs are in that big of a demand. But if Toyota, for whatever reason in California, needs and other states that abide by the CARB standards, if they need tons of BEVs, then they can supplement BZ4Xs with these RAV4 EVs. Not due to customer demand, but due to governmental demand in certain states. All right, so RAV4 coming online 2025 is going to be needing tons of batteries. Now, you got to keep in mind that RAV4 already broke an all-time sales record last year with like 475,000 units. So we're looking about 500,000 RAV4s. And I'm not going to even entertain the idea of tariffs because a ton of these RAV4s are built in Canada. All right, and with production shifting around in Kentucky, who knows what's going to happen? All right. If the RAV4 hybrid leaves Kentucky, goes fully to Canada, I have no idea what's going to happen. But that's, yes, and how tariffs could affect that. It's a bit mind-numbing to think about. But the RAV4 needs batteries. So anyways, what else? Land Cruisers built in Japan, BZ4X. They could start making BZ4X in the United States if they really needed to. I just don't know. I don't know about that. All right. Corolla Cross Hybrid. Well, yes, they make a lot of Corolla Cross hybrids. The hybrid is so much better than the non-hybrid that I can't recommend the non-hybrid. So the Corolla Cross Hybrid needs batteries, so could be getting batteries here. Grand Highlander, that needs a lot of batteries. They need more batteries for hybrids. The Grand Highlander needs batteries for two hybrids that it has. It has a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated hybrid, similar system that we see in the RAV4, except slightly bigger battery pack like we see in the Sienna. This has like 242 horsepower, something like that. That's a standard hybrid. Then you have like the 340 horsepower Hybrid Max, which needs batteries as well. The thing is, the Hybrid Max uses the bipolar nickel metal hydride batteries. Toyota could probably replace that with lithium ion from LG. All right. Because Toyota's the only one in the world making these bipolar nickel metal hydride batteries. So you would think that they would be supply constrained. Now, the bipolar nickel metal hydride has power output similar to lithium ion, but it's not as energy dense. So I think it's a little bit heavier. Who knows? But the thing is, lithium's also really cheap right now. So I don't know how cheap that nickel metal hydride battery is compared to some LG lithium batteries. But anyways, I'm sure they could adopt some lithium batteries for the Hybrid Max models. Oh, and I forgot to mention on the RAV4 plug-in hybrid, it could be getting a bigger battery pack. It needs more electric range for the CARB states, minimum 50 miles, I believe. So we need more battery pack. Land Cruiser is made in Japan. That's not going to change. Highlander. The Highlander, it's not, what I'm hearing, it's not going to be fully battery electric. There is going to be a battery electric variant, but I'm hearing that the Highlander could still live on. Potential the hybrid or the Highlander EV could be made in Kentucky, and then the non-EV, the hybrids, be made in Indiana. Now, they could go fully hybrid here with the Highlander. And it'd be cool if they offered a Hybrid Max in it as well, like the Grand Highlander has. But the thing is with the Highlander is that their production constrained. They can only make so many Highlanders now because the Grand Highlander is made in Indiana, the TX is made in Indiana, and so is the Sienna. And there's also rumors, well, not rumors, it's confirmed that Toyota and Lexus will be making 3-row EVs there. Yes, the Highlander is never going to see the sort of volume that we expect it to. Toyota Sequoia. Well, it's hybrid standard, and they still use nickel metal hydride batteries in that. I'm also hearing, and I'm fairly certain, and I don't know if it's going to be on the Sequoia, but I know for sure it'll be Tundra and Tacoma. There will be plug-in hybrids on those at the later on this decade. Is what I'm hearing from sources. Okay, so the Sequoia also built alongside of the Tundra in San Antonio could get a plug-in hybrid, but it's already space constrained with the current battery pack. So I can't imagine. I think a plug-in hybrid or an E-Rev would make more sense in a pickup truck more than the Sequoia, but depends on how they can package it. Crown Signia made in Japan, doesn't matter. The RAV4 Prime, well, it's not called the Prime anymore. It's called the RAV4 PHEV. Those will be made now in North America instead of just Japan. Rest in peace, Venza. And Toyota 4Runner, of course, made in Japan, and then Highlander. I think we're running out of crossovers here. So let's go ahead and switch over to Toyota cars and minivans. The Sienna, let's get into the Sienna. The Sienna needs a plug-in hybrid variant. They need battery packs from somewhere. Could be from LG. It could be from North Carolina. It's fully hybrid already. They just need to have a plug-in hybrid variant, and they'll be golden. There's also still talks of Toyota introducing a Previa. Hopefully, we would get it in the United States. I think it would be incredible. The Sienna, it needs more space on the inside. It's pretty cramped in there compared to competitors like the Carnival I just drove, as well as the Odyssey that I've been driving for a while. All right. The Corolla, this is a big one. So the Corolla hybrid is only made in Japan, but they make the Corolla front wheel drive models, non-hybrids in Mississippi for now. It's only a matter of time. I believe it's going to happen with the next generation Corolla. So we're looking at probably 2027 model year. So sometime in 2026, end of 2026, we'll get a redesign of the Corolla. It's possible that it could go full hybrid as well. When Toyota has this many batteries, the economies of scale can really reduce the entry price of a Corolla hybrid. If we looked at what happened to the Camry hybrid, it got cheaper when it went full hybrid for the entry model LE. LE Camry is fantastic. Check out all my videos on it. Crown's made in Japan. Mirai, it's made in Japan. It's fuel cell, whatever. I wish the Mirai was offered in a non-fuel cell variant, but it is what it is. Camry. Now, Camry, this one's interesting. You can say, Kirk, well, they seem to be supplying the batteries just fine, but that's for the hybrid. I also have sources saying that the Camry will have battery electric variants as well coming eventually. So they need batteries from somewhere, North Carolina or Michigan from LG. What else? Crown's made in Japan. Like I said, Prius is made in Japan. The Sienna needs a plug-in hybrid. And I think I've covered just about everything there. And I think I've covered all the trucks, right? Sports cars, doesn't matter. They're going to be made in Japan. The trucks, we need more battery packs for the Tacoma, the Tundra hybrids, and the plug-in hybrids that surely are coming by the end of this decade. And I haven't mentioned Toyota's luxury division, Lexus. Well, rest in peace, RCF. But let's get into some models here. And this is really only going to affect the models built in North America. So let's get into it. UX is Japan. NX is mainly made for our market in Canada, the Cambridge plant. All right. So NX needs more hybrid batteries and plug-in hybrid batteries. And currently the NX plug-in hybrid, RX plug-in hybrid are only made in Japan. Okay. But they need more hybrid and they need more plug-in hybrid batteries. So all these batteries are going to be flowing into the Lexus lineup. We're already seeing such high demand for Lexus hybrids, as well as Toyota hybrids, that this battery order from LG to now support hybrids is just a no-brainer. All right, the TX plug-in hybrid, there's hardly any of them. It's a really good vehicle. I don't know yet. I haven't test drove it. But I've heard from my colleagues that the plug-in hybrid is a really, really good option with the V6. And this sort of powertrain is seen in the Century SUV built in Japan, which costs about twice as much as the TX. All right, so this needs batteries. This is actually built, the only plug-in hybrid that is built for Toyota and Lexus in the United States for now. That'll change as the RAV4 comes online this year with a plug-in hybrid. These, of course, are built in Japan, so these battery deals don't apply. That's just SUVs. You know, Lexus has other vehicles too on the sedan end. Let's see here. IS is made in Japan, doesn't affect ES. The thing is, the ES is currently made in Kentucky, but it's going back to Japan for production. It's been in production in Kentucky since 2016, but the new generation, which is going to have, well, I don't know if I want to share this information quite yet. I might have to make a dedicated video, but it's going to have electrified variants, and they need lots of batteries, but the batteries made in North America will not be in these ES electrified models. And I want to circle back to the Highlander. The Highlander EV supposed to be going online in 2026. All right, it's been postponed. It was supposed to be 2025, it's been postponed to 2026 for this battery electric 3-row to come online. It's got to be at least as good as the EV9. In my opinion, the EV9 from Kia is fantastic. Some of my colleagues from TFL and Redline Reviews, they're in Korea right now driving the new Ioniq 9. Toyota has its work cut out for them. We know Honda's going to have a 3-row EV in 2026 as well. So yes, they need battery packs for that, as well as the Subaru variant, as well as the Lexus variant, and whatever sort of BEV 3-row crossover that's also coming out of Indiana, which is just, I don't know why they need so many 3-row BEVs. I don't think the demand is going to be there. Hopefully they can pivot, but they have the batteries for it now. I'm going to shut it down. Thank you guys for watching. I can't believe this video went on this long. I can just ramble about Toyota for a long time, obviously. So if you guys like Toyota news updates, make sure you're subscribed. If you enjoyed today's content and you made it this far, I would appreciate that like button being checked off. So have a great day. And batteries, we're swimming in batteries, at least if you're Toyota. Catch you in the next one. Peace.